Megan Thee Stallion versus Nicki Minaj.
Megan Thee Stallion versus Nicki Minaj. Do I like go in detail or do I just?
How do you feel about this particular beef? Because you got, Megan had Hiss and Nicki had Bigfoot.
I like Bigfoot.
Okay.
You know what? I like that. I like when she said "get on the gut foot." I thought that was like a good punchline. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because Megan got shot in the foot.
Exactly. Or did she? Or did she not?
I think she did, but
I don't know. I mean, I wasn't there. Neither were you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I don't know.
Nicki has been up for a while.
A week.
When we did the last pod, none of that. I hadn't seen any of that stuff that she did, or it hadn't happened yet.
It hadn't really happened.
It hadn't really happened yet. But as soon as we got home,
yes, it did.
Only one little quick one. But she never stopped. She has been going absolutely ham on the internet nonstop about all things beef.
It looks like the Megan versus Nicki beef isn't done just yet. Megan Thee Stallion just threw some major shade at Nicki Minaj following Nicki's recent run-in with the law. And let me tell you, Nicki was not having it. She clapped back hard. Buckle up because we're diving into all the juicy details of this drama. Rap's leading ladies are seriously clashing. The tension between Nicki Minaj and Megan Thee Stallion reached a whole new level in January 29th when Nicki dropped a single called Bigfoot, which seemed to be a direct clapback to Megan's latest track, Hiss. Hiss delves into all sorts of chaos from Megan's life in the spotlight, but it was one particular line that really got under Nicki's skin. These hoes don't be mad at Megan, these hoes mad at Megan's law. Megan spits with fire over a heavy beat. I don't really know what the problem is, but I guarantee y'all don't want me to start. For those of you who don't know, Megan's law is a federal requirement for law enforcement to share details about registered sex offenders. The fans quickly speculated that this line was a not-so-subtle jab from Megan at Nicki's husband, Kenneth Petty, who is on the registry. Petty was convicted of attempted R back in April 1995 after an assault on a 16-year-old girl and ended up serving 4 years for it. He's also done time for first-degree manslaughter after a 2002 incident where he killed a man. Nicki Minaj has been fiercely defending her husband for years. Take this example when talk show host Wendy Williams brought up Petty's past crimes on her show in November 2019.
You should have never married him. Because now you've ruined everything about what your brand could be. Again, you're never gonna stand a chance when you're with a man who pulls a knife at rape point. And you're never gonna stand a molester. A registered sex offender who wasn't even, you're never going to stand a chance with John Q. Public. Because there's only one thing worse than touching children and pulling knives, and that's murder. By the way, he did go to jail for manslaughter.
Nicki fired back on her own Queen radio show saying,
but every time you mention him, you feel the need to bring him up. You feel the need to bring these things up, as well as something that he was wrongfully accused of doing when he was 15 years old. Or because he didn't have $7,000 to get himself bailed out. Because when you in the hood at 15, you don't have that kind of money, and neither does your family. And when the alleged accuser wrote a letter to the judge asking to recant these statements, she was told that she would go to jail for 90 days, allegedly, if she recants the statement. But right is right. But I didn't know that in our society, you have to be plagued by your past. I didn't know that people can't turn over a new leaf.
So, when Megan's track Hiss started buzzing on X, it was no shock that Nicki Minaj jumped into defending her man during an Instagram live.
You gotta watch what you say to me regarding anything. Hi, Kaya, pretty girl.
She stayed off camera most of the time but sounded really worked up as she previewed a new track that threw shade at Megan for getting shot in the foot by Tory Lanez in 2020, a case that ended last year with Lanez getting a 10-year sentence. It hasn't always been rocky between Minaj and Megan. They teamed up back in 2019 for Hot Girl Summer, but vibes seem to have chilled since then, especially after Minaj's Pink Friday 2 album dropped in December. On one of the tracks, FTCU, she seemed to diss Megan with a line hinting at Lanez. Stay in your Tory Lanez, B, I'm not Iggy, referencing Iggy Azalea, who was in the news for supporting Lanez during his trial. As Nicki was dealing with Hiss on her live, Megan was on The Breakfast Club saying the song was for MFs who use Megan Thee Stallion's name. They get 24 hours of attention, adding, a hit dog gon' holler, that's it, whoever feels it, feels it.
It's for these bitches or these bitches and hoes are like men or women. Every time one of these motherfuckers making a Stallion name, they get 24 hours of attention. Basically, I understand what y'all doing, and I want y'all to get up off me.
No, actually, she said,
use something else. Do something different. Use another tactic. This one getting old.
Nicki's Bigfoot, which officially dropped on January 29th, had already been previewed on her Instagram Live and X, with Nicki critiquing Megan's Grammy wins and rapping skills, and even bringing up the Megan's Law line. You're bringing up 30-year-old T from when this man was a 15-year-old child. You're bringing up 30-year-old T because no man will ever effing love you, and lying on your dead mother.
So you bringing up 30-year-old T from when this man was a 15-year-old child. You bringing up 30-year-old T because no man has ever and will ever love you. And lying on your dead mother, on your dead mama, on your dead, you know, lied on a dead mama, lied on a dead mama.
The track also accuses Megan of lying on your dead mama, along with mentioning the Tory Lanez shooting incident. Bad B, she like 6 foot, I call her Bigfoot, the B fell off, I said get up on your good foot, Minaj spits in her track. The song then shifts into a whispered, minute-long spoken word where she gets real serious, hinting at even more revelations in a second installment. Ho, the things you've lied about, even pertaining to your mom, you don't want them out, okay? Later, Minaj appeared on a Spaces session with podcast host Joe Budden using the live audio feature on X. She accused Megan of exploiting the Lanez shooting to garner sympathy, claiming,
This is so obvious. She wanted a Rihanna moment so bad.
When pressed about which Rihanna moment she meant, Minaj evaded, suggesting a quick Google search could answer that.
There goes my little bit of privacy. Just people exposed, like it's something that nobody wants anybody to know.
Nicki was alluding to the infamous 2009 incident where Chris Brown assaulted Rihanna, especially since she compared Rihanna's poised ABC News interview to Megan's CBS Morning Talk with Gayle King. Minaj observed, Rihanna would never milk. It's clear she wanted to move on with her life. People criticized her for not dragging it out. She also charged that Megan had been dishonest with Gayle King, initially denying and later admitting to a non-exclusive intimate relationship with Lanez during the trial. Rihanna knows she was a superstar with or without controversy, Minaj continued. She's loved with or without sympathy.
Like, you could tell she couldn't wait to get that part of her life. Like, you could tell she couldn't wait to just try to move on with her life. You understand? And then people even bashed her for not dragging it out, not milking it. And she just, you know, she was just like, yo, I was mad. Young, we were young, like, I just want to move on with my life now, yo. You know why? Because Rihanna knows that she was a superstar with or without controversy. She's beautiful with or without controversy. She's loved with or without controversy. I'm sorry, sympathy.
During the live stream, Minaj denied any involvement in inciting her fans to disrespect or threaten Megan's mother's grave. This rebuttal came after TMZ reported increased security at the grave due to alleged online leaks of its location. In this tweet, she said, y'all want to bring up family members and lying on your dead mother? Lied to Gayle, lied on and after your best friend's man, told me to drink and go to the clinic if I was pregnant, all because I wouldn't let your funky butt pour liquor down my throat. B thinks she a bully because she get a Rock Nation brunch every year. Be mad at party. He told all your tea, but you taking shots at my family? Bwahaha. Get up on your good foot. Hashtag Pink Friday 2. Platinum, go apologize to your mother, nasty serpent, repent. For a moment, everyone thought the drama would calm down, but no, Nicki had a little stunt out in Europe, and the tea is still hot.
Nicki Minaj was arrested over the weekend. She was leaving Amsterdam, where she had just performed Soul Out show, and she was heading to Manchester.
I thought she was just getting to Amsterdam.
No, she was leaving Amsterdam. As she was leaving Amsterdam, she was, of course, in her private jet, and they stopped her, and they wanted to go through her bags because they found some pre-rolls, and the security said they was their pre-rolls, but they wanted to search more.
Nicki Minaj got into a bit of trouble over at Amsterdam Schiphol Airport this past Saturday, according to a source from the Dutch National Police who chatted with ABC News. Turns out, Nicki, who's 41, was busted for trying to fly out with some soft drugs on her. She didn't stay in the slammer for long though. The Dutch police said after a little chat with Public Prosecution Service, we find her and let her go on her way, and they shared this update on X. Unfortunately, this snag meant that Nicki had to postpone her gig in Manchester, England that night. The venue, Co-op Live, posted on X, despite Nicki's all-out effort to make it work, today's mess just threw a wrench in things. We're really sorry for the hassle this caused everyone. Nicki Minaj's scheduled performance at Manchester's Co-op Live on Saturday 25th has been postponed. Tickets will remain valid for their scheduled performance performance which will be announced ASAP. Despite Nicki's best efforts to explore every possible avenue to make tonight's show happen, the events of today made it impossible. We're deeply disappointed by the inconvenience this has caused. More information will be available at your point of purchase. Earlier that day, Nicki went live on Instagram, showing her chat with a cop. She asked why she was being detained, and the officer was like, because you're carrying drugs.
I'm the police officer. I'm the deputy of the public prosecutor. We will bring you to the police station. Yes?
For what?
You can go because you are carrying drugs.
I'm not carrying drugs.
Okay, but it's not a question here. I think it's.
I'm not
smart to
carrying
go
drugs.
inside.
Number one, when I came here,
Yeah.
the
Okay,
back.
you can go inside.
No, I'm not going in there. I need a lawyer present.
You will get a lawyer. It's
No, I
problem.
need a lawyer present now.
Nicki also hit up X to spill the tea on the whole ordeal. She tweeted, "Now they said they found weed and that another group of people have come here to weigh the pre-rolls. Keep in mind they took my bags without consent. My security has already advised them those pre-rolls belong to him. Oh yeah, and the pilot wants me to take my IG post down." Nicki Minaj's fans were seriously upset when the Manchester show at Co-op Live got cancelled last minute because of her arrest at Amsterdam Schiphol Airport. Nicki got nabbed for allegedly trying to export soft drugs, ended up with a 350 euros fine, and was let go to continue her travels. But the drama meant that she didn't make it back in time for a Saturday concert, leaving about 20,000 fans who were already at the venue pretty disappointed. Fans were holding on to hope right up until 21:30 BST, when the show was supposed to start, only to hear the bad news then. Some boos rang out as the crowd left the venue. Social media posts and flight data showed Minaj's plane was still at Amsterdam at the time. Amidst all the tour drama, the beef between Nicki Minaj and Megan Thee Stallion continues to puzzle fans. No one's really sure where all this bad blood started, but it's got everyone talking. Some even whisper it's all a cash grab, seeing the stacks both artists are pulling from the publicity. Either way, this feud's got everyone hooked, waiting to see what happens next. So what's the real story behind the Nicki-Megan showdown? Honestly, it's hard to pin down. Between their collabs turning sour and all the public jabs, fans are left scratching their heads. Could it all be a clever move to rake in more dough? If that's the game, it's certainly working. Everyone's watching and the money is flowing. As Nicki's tour faces hiccups and the drama with Megan heats up, fans can't help but wonder, is all this tension real or just for show? The mystery deepens, but one thing's clear, there's serious cash being made amidst all the chaos. It's a story that keeps on giving, and everyone's tuned for the next chapter. Alright, that's the scoop for now. Whether it's tour troubles or rapper rivalries, we'll keep you posted. Stay tuned, keep it real, and don't forget, sometimes the drama off stage is just as entertaining as the show itself. So what do you think about this whole beef thing? Let us know down in the comments section.